good evening. It is Sunday, 6:45 p.m. We're gonna spend the evening together. It's been a very chill weekend. And the scaries are a little higher today than usual because I have a lot going on for the rest of the month, and the next 4 days are gonna be a little hectic. So we're gonna try and soak up the rest of this Sunday. I have definitely soaked up the weekend. It's been very relaxing. Friday I got to go see my friend and her baby, which was so fun. It's also crazy to see how fast they grow. Like, I hadn't seen her in a few weeks and she's so much bigger and like substantial, less fragile I should say. I got to feed her and it was just so cute. It was such a great afternoon. Last night my boyfriend and I decided to do a little date night at home, and we made homemade pasta and we made pesto from scratch. We've been working on keeping this basil plant alive for the last few months, and finally we decided it was time to harvest the plant and eat it. We did save a little bit of it so that maybe it'll, you know, replenish itself and then we can make fresh pesto again. But it was so nice. We had the proper wine pairing and everything. It was so good. And we sat on the couch binging TV all day. It was a great relaxing Sunday, my ideal Sunday honestly. And now Sunday evening I get to eat leftovers of the homemade pasta we had, and I'm so excited. We made the noodles ourselves. They're so good. Pesto, sun-dried tomatoes, and then I might add a little cream. Here's my outfit of the day. It's pajamas with a cute little cardigan thrown on top. I'm actually gonna be out of town for the next 2 weekends, so I really wanted to enjoy this one like on the couch as much as possible and just like as lazy as can be. And that's what I did. Next weekend I'm actually going to visit my boyfriend's parents with him. They don't live in the city, so we got a little bit of a road trip, which is gonna be really fun. And the next weekend we're going to New York, and then we're going to Connecticut for a wedding. So all very fun things obviously, but you guys know I like my home time. I'm a homebody through and through. So we're embracing the last chill Sunday for a few weeks, and we're gonna spend it together. Here's the delicious pesto we made. Basil, pine nuts, and then Parmesan and oil and some lemon. So good. Okay, we're just heating up the tomatoes and the pesto. I'm gonna throw on some noodles. And then just for fun, we're also gonna shave in some extra parm. Add a little salt. Look at that, so good. Oh shoot, I forgot we also made chicken. Cheers. Now she's done. We have our protein, our pasta, and we're diving in. Let's turn some lights on in here. It's kind of crazy that it's already getting dark earlier. I feel like it just went so fast. I had finally adjusted to, you know, the longer days, and here we are. The days are getting shorter again. I feel like once I adjust to something, I have to then readjust. This looks so good. Please disregard the massive knife that I'm using to cut my chicken right now. I just don't wanna dirty up another knife. So for today's vlog, we're gonna have a chatty vlog. We're gonna chat, we're gonna hang out tonight. Basically just bringing you along on my typical solo night routine. We're gonna prep for the week. We're gonna shower because look at me. Do some skincare and some self-care. I want to finish a painting tonight. I want to read. I want to talk about books. And overall, I just want to chat and catch up. A few weeks ago when I did my little solo Saturday in the city, if you haven't seen that vlog, highly recommend. I'm going to link it down below. I had actually asked you guys on Instagram if there was anything you wanted me to talk about in more detail and just like be chatty about. And then I ended up having such a chatty day that I didn't go over any of those. So I figured we would do that for today's vlog. I had a lot of really interesting things that I think will be fun to talk about. Let's try our dinner. That's so good. There's something so satisfying about eating a meal that you know you made like totally from scratch. Noodles from scratch, sauce from scratch. So satisfying and so good. But you guys know my usual routine when I have dinner, to the couch. I am definitely a couch dinner girly in front of the TV. So we're watching Lost. We're on episode 15, season 1. I've seen it like 6 times, but he's never seen it before. This show is the best. It is one of my top shows of all time, like top 3 for sure. But my me show, if you know, it is Once Upon a Time. I'm on season 6, so basically last season, and then I have to find a new show to watch. But it's just my favorite thing to watch during dinner. I don't know. We got the Evil Queen, we got Snow White. It's so wholesome. I love it.
Oh, I suggest you put the baby down. Favorite time of the night? It is paint time. It's also
really feeling like fall outside. This weekend was the first weekend that really felt cold. Like it was genuinely chilly. So we've moved our paint nights from outside to inside on the floor by the fire. I'm gonna tell you, it's quite the vibe. It's heating back up this week, but it was our first little glimpse this weekend and it was really nice. Super cozy. I'm so excited for fall, but I figured while I finish my painting of Jill and I talked to you guys about some of the things that you wanted me to chat about. This is where we're at right now with the painting. I think it's turning out actually pretty well. I'm gonna finish it tonight, which I'm really excited about, and then get started on the other painting I'm gonna do from Jill's wedding weekend. So something that I was asked a lot was how to overcome the anxiety of doing things alone, and that is something that I'm like still figuring out every single day. I think quick and easy answer that isn't, you know, necessarily the best thing to hear is just by doing it. I feel like you can't overcome that anxiety unless you actually try to do things alone, and that's obviously super scary. It's really hard to take that first step, but I think you can start small with, like, you know, taking a walk by yourself, going to get a cup of coffee. You know, it took me years and trying different things to get out of my comfort zone more and more and more to the point where I can do more things alone. And that's not to say that I am not horrified of doing certain things alone. There's something coming up in a couple weeks that I have been back and forth on if I want to go to and like do by myself. I don't know anyone going, but it's like the coolest opportunity ever. And I think not going would be a huge disservice to myself. It's such a cool opportunity. So I am planning to push myself even more and do something super out of my comfort zone in a couple weeks. And I will definitely bring you guys along, and hopefully it can inspire you to also do the same. My overall answer is to just try. The first time will always be scary, but the second time will always be easier, and doing things more and more like that I think just really brings a lot of confidence, which is why I always like to try sharing these things with you guys and talking about it, because I know that there's so many of us that feel this way. You are not alone in your anxieties, and I am here to tell you that if I can do it, you can do it. I had a few people asking me how I handle seasonal depression with, you know, summer ending. A lot of people really dread, you know, this time of the year because, you know, the height of summer's over, and you know, the cold season can be tough. Obviously it's hard when you don't see the sun for a month straight, but after being back in a, you know, 4-season environment for the last 3-ish years, I've really come to appreciate all the seasons for what they are. I think finding activities per season to look forward to and get excited about and like really dive into each season really brings a lot of joy and excitement. Like the fall season, I'm so excited for just like crisper air, the leaves changing colors, pumpkin carving. Halloween coming up is always so exciting. There's a few parties I'm already planning to go to that are gonna be really fun. Decorating for fall is something that I really enjoy. I think decorating per the season is just a fun little joy if you are into home decor. I think just embracing each season for what it is the key here. You know, with winter, just like dive into the hot chocolates and the nights at home in your sweats and soups and yummy winter meals. I think there's so many things, if you look for them, that you can find and appreciate in each season. I think it's just, you know, switching your mindset to finding more things to enjoy versus focusing on losing summer and not having warm weather. There's still so much to enjoy about all the other seasons, I think. People were asking me about running and if I'm planning to participate in another run/race. I definitely am. I'm really excited to get back into running. My current plan is to get back into running beginning of October when it's a little chillier and just like more enjoyable to run outside. I feel like when it's super hot, it's not that fun. Also, it's just easier to stay consistent when you don't have travel plans interrupting things. Obviously, like you can be consistent when you're traveling, but I have a hard time with that. And I know that about myself. So I plan on getting back into running as soon as life kind of slows down and we enter the slower season. Another thing to enjoy about it. I'm really struggling to know what to do here and what else to add. I really want to add more depth to the faces. Oh, actually, I know what I'm gonna do. So this is the painting. I feel like overall pretty solid. I'm not gonna be painting our faces because I know I would mess it up, but I am going to take this white pen or this white marker and use it for Jill's pearl necklace. I think that's gonna be a really nice detail, so I'm gonna do that. And then it is shower time. Can't tell if that looks bad. That might look bad. It's too late now. Okay, here she is, my finished painting of Jill and I. It's my first painting ever with people, and I think overall she turned out pretty cute. Oh, I feel feels so much better. As much as I love like a really lazy kind of be gross day, I was feeling really gross there. Now for years I've been asked if I would ever try like a curly hair routine, and quite honestly I have no interest. I feel like whenever I've watched videos of a curly hair routine, it just seems like there's a lot of steps, a lot of effort, and if you guys know me, like I'm typically on the lazier side, and I would rather just use 1 or 2 products in my hair and call it a day. Lately I've been using just Moroccan oil. It's a classic. I've used it since high school. I love it. I put their treatment oil at the ends of my hair. I have previously like somewhat tried a curly hair routine, and I wouldn't say my hair is curly. It definitely has, you know, a wave pattern, and it can be cute if I'm on vacation and I don't really feel like putting any heat in my hair or like really doing much. If I go in the ocean, it comes out cute and wavy, but in my day-to-day, I cannot be bothered. I just honestly prefer a more blown out look for myself. For tonight's skincare, I'm actually gonna try 3 new products. I'm gonna use the products I just got from Glow Recipe, starting with the Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner, hydrating and pore refining. These products are new because they just sent them to me, but they're not actually new to me. I haven't used them in years. Oh, that's like a thicker toner than I expected. Oh, they smell so good. If you like the smell of watermelon, like this is it. This line is insane. It smells like watermelon candy. Next up we have the serum, Ultimate Glow and Brightening. Cute moisturizer. Look how cute the pink is. Scrapbooking. How do you make a page or get the idea to begin one? Let's put on some PJs and I'll walk you through the scrapbooking / junk journaling thing. Welcome back to the scrapbook station. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, let me run you through my history with this pretty quickly. I have been collecting little pieces of junk or little things that have meaning to me for over a decade. Like I was 15, I think the first time I started collecting things. And for the longest time, I put them in a box and then I had them in a really big jar, like this big clear glass jar. I think it was like this big. Eventually it got really full and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lose track of how this is organized if I don't do something about it now. And so in around 2015, 2016, I started putting it together in a binder. And the girls that I watch on TikTok that do junk journaling don't do it the way that I do it, but I think the way I do it is gonna keep everything like very organized and secure. But obviously I think everyone should do it the way, you know, they want to do it, the way that best fits them and their personality and their life. So I bought this binder from Target and then I covered it in stickers. I thought that'd be cutesy. And I bought paper and protective sheets for the binder. But then this got really full and I couldn't actually add anything more to it. I had really just like fully filled it out. So I bought this binder on Amazon. It's a mini binder. I will link this and all my supplies down below. I bought this for my second junk journal or junk binder, but then I decided to just transfer everything from here to here so I can keep it all together as one. I just didn't want to like lose anything and it's just easier to keep it all organized for me. So I bought more protective sheets, which are just these little plastic sheets, and you put the paper in here, and I've been filling out these pages for years. It is one of my favorite hobbies. It's one of my favorite things to look through if I ever feel like going down memory lane. It is the most fun ever. Now the way that I make pages and the way that I, you know, begin on them is I have like a collective theme. For example, if I go on a trip, I'm gonna collect all the things from that trip and then put it into one piece of paper, or if there's too much stuff, I'll do 2 side by side. So here's a couple spreads from 2 different trips. This is from London and Paris last December with Jody and Maddie. And then this is from my birthday this past January. So I have a ton of stuff that I collected, like our pass, our room key, this birthday pin. I took off these letters from the crown that Sarah got me for my birthday. A little receipt from hot chocolate from the fireworks show. This is from a bottle of champagne. My boarding pass from Paris to Toronto. We went to Crazy Horse. Another receipt. Just like little things that I can grab on my trips that I can put together in a spread. Here's an example of a trip where I did 2 pages for it. This is from when I went to Egypt in 2018. It's kind of fun to see the evolution of each spread from like, you know, back then versus what I do now. You know, now I feel like they're really aesthetic, or at least to me. This page is like a bunch of events that I've been to this year. Here's a spread from when I went to New York a couple months ago. I'm not gonna lie, like each page definitely takes a long time, but it's so enjoyable. Like just sitting there with my glue stick and like cutting things out and trying to make it cute and piece it together is so fun. So right now I have a few things that I'm collecting for an end of summer spread. So I have my It Ends With Us movie ticket with like a little, this is from my popcorn packet. I got this like cheesy seasoning stuff on there. I wish I was thinking about it at the time, but I wish I had ripped off a little bit of my popcorn and then I could put it in here. Not the actual popcorn, but the bag, I don't know. Anyways, I have these two things, and then I have this picture of Sarah, Haley, and I from the event the other night that I'm gonna put in here. I also have a couple things downstairs that I wanna put in, but I'm kind of collecting things for an end of summer page. And then I'm sure I'm gonna do a page from when my boyfriend and I do New York and the Connecticut wedding, everything I collect over that weekend. I think that'll for sure go in here, just like cute little things that I would wanna remember. But I love that it's all in a binder. I love that each page is in like a protected, you know, sheet so that everything stays nice and secure. And if water falls on it, like it's not gonna get damaged. I love the way that I've done this. This is truly one of my favorite things that I own in this world. It has a lot of meaning to me, and I am so glad that I have it. I got a couple more questions about my boyfriend. I've actually gotten this asked quite a few times, and that is if he watches my videos. He has never seen a single one of my vlogs, not a single one, and I think we're gonna keep it that way. I don't think he needs to watch the vlogs. He's seen some of my TikToks because I show him them. He doesn't have the TikTok app, but I will show him some of the TikToks that I post. I don't think that he needs to watch any of my videos, like my YouTube vlogs. I feel like this is just my own, this is like another version of a diary. This is me just chatting with my friends, and yeah. And then I also had a few people asking how much alone time I have now that I'm in this relationship. And I will say my alone time has probably been cut in half, I would say, because I still want to balance everything. Like I want to make sure I'm balancing my friendships and my relationship, my family time, my alone time, and it's kind of a juggling act. So I feel like what's been cut the most is my alone time, but I definitely still feel like I have plenty of it. Like I don't feel like I'm lacking in alone time, and if by some chance I am, I will figure it out and I'll make sure that I can have that space. Everybody in my life knows that I do occasionally need a recharge night, and you know, people respect that, which I think is great. I think that's a beautiful thing about getting older, is that your friends no longer judge you if you like don't want to go out one night. So that's really nice. I used to feel really uncomfortable saying no, or I would feel like I'd have to come up with some kind of excuse, and now I'm just like, I am burnt out. I need a recharge night. I need to sit silently on my couch, and people are like, cool. I will always respect people that can vocalize that instead of making up an excuse. So I like to do the same thing. Side note, growing up, I used to always go to bed with my hair wet because I was always like a nighttime shower kind of person, which I still kind of am. But I try not to go to bed with my hair wet. So I think we're gonna go blow this out and then crawl into bed. We're gonna put in a Prep and Protect Heat Defense Spray. Really working on the hair health right now. It's starting to grow, and I feel like I can tell that it's getting longer and fuller at the ends after years and years of bleaching it. But we still have quite a ways to go. And normally I do wait to blow dry my hair until like it's 99% air dried, but it's Sunday night and I don't really want to wait, so we will make an exception tonight. We got the classic Dysonera. I do in fact love this thing. I do. But I also do in fact hate blow drying my hair. I'm so lazy with it. Four minutes later, that's as good as it's gonna get. Could it be better? Yes, but my Monday morning self will still be happy with what I've done tonight. A little bit of oil back to my ends, and also to help with the poofiness. I'm gonna put my rings back on. I always wear my Oura ring. I've had this for like 2 years now. I get questions all the time on my thoughts on the Oura ring. I personally love it. It's really addicting tracking your sleep. Like I love to wake up and see how many hours I slept, how great my sleep was. And I also really like that you can add tags. If I was drinking the night before, I can add it in, and then it'll show you your trends. Also, they added a stress level update. You can like see when you get stressed during the day. So I like looking back at the end of the day and seeing when I had stress spikes, and then seeing what had happened in my day that made me stressed. And I just like that it's very informative. You can really learn a lot about yourself and your cycles and just track a lot of stuff. And I love stats. Like it makes me so happy. I love to learn as much as possible about myself. So I honestly love this. Okay, we're brushing teeth, taking out contacts, crawling into bed. Fun fact about me, I've been wearing glasses and contacts since I was in grade 4. Actually, I don't know if that's a fun fact, but it's a fact nonetheless. I remember being in a classroom before I, went to the eye doctor and discovered that I needed glasses. I remember being in class, holding up a fist with like a tiny little hole through it. And for some reason, looking through that hole, I was like, oh, it's crisper now. I don't know what the science is behind that. And I would look at the chalkboard through this little hole of my fist, and I was like, maybe that's a problem. And so we got these. I love my bed. I'm such a end of the day bedtime girl. Actually, I was always a night owl. Like growing up, I like to stay up so late. Now I go to sleep at like 11. I like that for me though, and then I wake up early. I prefer an early morning to a late night now. I got my Stitch to cuddle with, my little Squishmallow Stitch. This is my favorite. I love him. Anyways, I want to talk about books, a little book check-in moment. So my current book, I am reading Daisy Hates, the second book technically in the Magnolia Parks universe. I read Magnolia Parks back in February. I loved it. And then for some reason I didn't get to any of the other books until now, September. So we're on Daisy Hates. I'm 13% in. It's similar to Magnolia Parks. It's also like the same timeline, I think, as the first book, but I read it so long ago that I can't really remember, and there's a lot of names, so it kind of taken me a bit to get into, but it is really good. I think it's going to be really juicy, full of drama and toxic bullshit in this. If you've never heard of the Magnolia Parks series, it's basically like a London-based Gossip Girl, but a lot more toxic. Like, it is toxic. So if you decide to read it, just know that. And then last week I finished This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. This was super cute. All of her books are based in Toronto or outside of the city. Like, this one is based in PEI, but her other ones are in Muskoka. This was like a classic friends to lovers trope. It took place over a bunch of summers, a bunch of years, and I thought it was really cute. I would give it a good solid 4 stars. Still, my favorite Carly Fortune book is Every Summer After. I loved that book. Let me know in the comments what you're currently reading. I don't know if I'll keep on the Magnolia Parks series after I finish this one. I might, but I might switch it up and go for like a fall thriller. I don't know. If you have your fall TBR, let me know in the comments. I gotta start working on mine. Also, I get a lot of questions on what e-reader I'm using right now. So this is a kobo. This is a colored kobo. So I was actually invited to the event when this came out, and because of that I started using it because I like the colored covers. It's so satisfying to me. I think it's so cute. Previously I was a die-hard Kindle Paperwhite fan, and I think I still am. I think it's generally a better device, but I think they're so similar that it's really hard to compare, honestly. When Kindle comes out with a colored version, that will be the winner, I think. I feel pretty confident in that. So if you're wondering if you should switch to the kobo, if you have a Kindle, it's same. Like, I wouldn't actually recommend anyone makes a switch because they are the same. But given that it's Sunday night, I actually have my laptop in bed with me. I'm just going to write down a list of everything that I need to get done tomorrow. So I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes planning out everything I want to get done tomorrow and the rest of the week, figure out what I can fit into the week, and then I will get back to Daisy Hates and this wild world. And this is where I'm going to leave you. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for asking questions and being curious about my life at all. I so appreciate you guys being here and supporting me, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope all is well in your world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.